Hello everybody and welcome to another video lesson. In our last video, we learned a little bit more about the comparative form. We use the comparative form to compare things, places, and people, right? And for that, we have to use adjectives like interesting, beautiful, short, big, happy, easy, and so on and so forth. Today, we are going to use these adjectives again, but in the superlative form. The superlative form is used when you want to emphasize that one thing from a group is on the top, or for something good or for something bad. It depends, okay? So we are going to take a look at these adjectives and practice a little bit. Like in our last video, I want you to go to a place in which you can speak out loud, you can listen to me and repeat, because this lesson is a structure and speaking practice lesson, okay? So let me share my screen with you for you to see the adjectives. We're going to start with the short adjectives. Remember that the short adjectives are those that have one or two sounds, like when you say easy, 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 easy. Two sounds is a short adjective, right? So the first one is fast. The superlative form of fast is the fastest, the fastest, the fastest. Sheep, sheep. The cheapest, the cheapest. Heavy, heavy. The heaviest, the heaviest. Big, big. The biggest, the biggest. Small, small. The smallest, the smallest. Strong, strong. The strongest, the strongest. Fast, fast. The fastest, the fastest. Slow, slow. The slowest, the slowest. Pretty, pretty. The prettiest, the prettiest. Ugly, ugly. The ugliest, the ugliest. Tall, tall. The tallest, the tallest. Light, light. The lightest, the lightest. Weak, weak. The weakest, the weakest. Short, short. The shortest, the shortest. Thin, thin. The thinnest, the thinnest, the thinnest. Pay attention to the tone between the teeth. Yeah, this one is a little more challenging. The thinnest, the thinnest, the thinnest. Fat, fat. The fattest, the fattest. Young, young. The youngest, the youngest. Old, old. The oldest, the oldest. Good, good. Attention, the best, the best, the best. Bad, bad. Worst, the worst, the worst. Sentence: Brazil, big country in South America. So think of South America. There are many countries. I chose Brazil. I picked Brazil and I put Brazil from this group, and I said that Brazil is the biggest. Brazil is the biggest country in South America. Brazil is the biggest country in South America. Let's try a little faster. Brazil is the biggest country in South America. Brazil is the biggest country in South America. Brazil is the biggest country in South America. Okay, water break. Let's take a look now at the long adjectives. The long adjectives. Interesting, interesting, the most interesting, the most interesting, the most interesting. Why the T is here? Double T? No, it's only one. Okay. The most interesting, the most interesting. Boring, boring, the most boring, the most boring. Difficult, difficult, the most difficult, the most difficult. Beautiful, beautiful, the most beautiful, the most beautiful. Handsome, handsome, the most handsome, the most handsome. Important, important, the most important, the most important. Dangerous, dangerous, the most dangerous, the most dangerous. Modern, modern, the most modern, the most modern. Exciting, exciting, the most exciting, the most exciting. Polluted, polluted, the most polluted, the most polluted. Expensive, expensive, the most expensive, the most expensive. Now let's compare. Sorry, let's compare, no. Let's make the sentence in the superlative about Brazil. The first sentence we made was using the word big. Brazil is the biggest country in South America. I substituted the word big for extensive. Extensive. Brazil is an extensive country because it's big, right? So how can we make the sentence? Think. Okay, let's check. Brazil is the most extensive country in South America. Brazil is the most extensive country in South America. Brazil is the most extensive country in South America. Let's try faster. Brazil is the most extensive country in South America. Brazil is the most extensive country in South America. Brazil is the most extensive country in South America. All right. Beautiful, the most beautiful. Brazil is the most beautiful country in South America. Brazil is the most beautiful country in South America. Brazil is the most beautiful country in South America. Interesting. Brazil is the most interesting country in South America. Brazil is the most interesting country in South America. Famous. Brazil is the most famous country in South America. Brazil is the most famous country in South America. Old. Brazil is the oldest country in South America. Brazil is the oldest country in South America. This is just an example, okay, people? I don't know if it's the oldest, just an example. So just to compare here, famous and old. So Brazil is the most famous country in South America. The most famous because famous is a long adjective. Now, when we use old, Brazil is the oldest country in South America. Brazil is the oldest country in South America. Big. Brazil is the biggest country in South America. Brazil is the biggest country in South America. Look here. These two words here, the biggest, the oldest. The biggest, the oldest. Can you perceive a difference in pronunciation? There is a difference because when we have a vowel sound like oldest, we pronounce here the oldest, the oldest, the oldest. Let me give you more examples. The easiest, the easiest. Okay, the oldest, the easiest. Now, when we have a consonant sound, b, big, biggest, the biggest, the biggest, the biggest. Other examples. The smallest, the smallest, the heaviest, the heaviest. So when we have a consonant sound after the article, we say the boy, the problem, the girl. When we have a vowel sound before the article, we use the male, let me think of another one. The male, the elephant, the old person. All right? Awesome. So I'd like you to think about this lesson and write a superlative sentence in the comments, giving your opinion about the lesson, okay? You can use any of these adjectives that I presented to you or other ones. Feel free to go to the dictionary and search for other adjectives. This is a good way of studying and enhancing your vocabulary, making your vocabulary bigger, more extensive, right? So I hope you have learned and enjoyed this video lesson, and I'll see you again next video. Bye!